Rob here, and welcome to R&B Reviews. This video is special because this year marks the 10 years that this channel has been on YouTube. So I thought, what better way to start the year by pausing and going back to look at where this channel has come from, and to talk to Brendan, who, like me, was passionate about movies, and of course we started the channel together back in January of 2009. Our mission was to do videos where me and him, or whoever I was talking to, would sit down and have a discussion and give honest and informative reviews of movies that you could watch on the big screen or in the comforts of your own home. I also wanted to talk to various guest reviewers who appeared on this channel. So I hope you enjoy this video as we look back at clips, throw in some trivia, and maybe, go through and look back on the 10 years of R&B reviews. Reviews. I'm Rob.
I'm Brendan.
And we're going to be putting together a series of YouTube movie reviews, both together and separately. We're going to watch movies that are in theater as well as on DVD. Movies that I like are mostly older films. I like The Maltese Falcon, the film noir classic with Humphrey Bogart, as well as great comedy spoofs like Blazing Saddles by Mel Brooks.
I'm more into 70s horror cult genre movies. I'm a big John Carpenter fan, and the movies I tend to really like to watch and stuff are more crime movies or horror or comedy. Anything and everything I'll watch.
Alright, so let's get this party started. Obviously we can't start without talking to the man that I started the channel with. Like I said, we were both passionate about movies, and we love just, talking about them, all kinds of movies, whether it be horror or comedy. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and bring back on this channel the person that the B in R&B Reviews is named for, Brendan. Hey.
Thank you, Rob.
Not a problem.
Good to be back.
It's great to have you back. It's been a while. Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, can you believe it? 10 years on YouTube?
Well, congratulations.
Well,
you kept the channel alive.
You remember how we got this off the ground?
I remember vividly shooting the intro,
Mm-hmm.
that old theater in a local town. I don't know if it's still there. It was
Unfortunately-
closed when we filmed there.
Yeah, unfortunately it's not. They did tear it
remember
down.
filming the intro and creating creating YouTube content before kind of YouTube became what it is now. I mean, when did we start? This is 2009. We were putting stuff on YouTube before then. And I was thinking about how much that platform has changed. You've probably seen it change the most. But just doing these videos back when we had a time limit, you had a storage limit on it. Editing software was so limited. And cameras, we just had to use mini DV cameras. And it's just technology has changed so much since we did that. Now everyone posts reviews immediately when they see movies, especially video reviews. So it was interesting kind of being on that kind of user-submitted video reviews side of it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what really stood out with our channel is when we first started, a lot of the movie review channels were more like entertainment channels. Like you'd have the host telling goofy jokes and wearing silly costumes. But one thing that we kind of did was we did what I call Siskel and Ebert style, where we would sit down, just us, no costume gimmicks, nothing. We would just sit there, talk about the movie that we just saw, what we liked about it, what didn't work for us. And just talking honestly, having a discussion, kind of like what we're doing now. And I think that's one of the things why we took off so well in the beginning.
Yeah, I think having just making it about the movie, doing skits and stuff is always fun. But our videos were always just about let's take a look at this piece of art or entertainment and talk about where we come at it from.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not like our recommendations were ironclad either. It was this is just our point of view. If you like it, if you don't. Because it's one thing we learned very early on with the YouTube comments section. If people disagreed with you, they were going to let you know.
Oh yeah.
But it's
It's
okay.
still like that.
I know. And people, it's okay to like a movie.
Today we're going to take a look at Guy Ritchie's latest film, Rock'n'Rolla. And it's a very complicated plot with a lot of different characters. I don't know how well we can explain the plot to people that have no idea what it's about.
I mean, I think if you walk out of it and you say, well, what do you think it was about? Everyone's going to have different ideas of the plot because there's so many plot holes. He made you completely care for him, and by the end of the movie, you're completely invested in this old grumpy guy, as well as the characters of Tao and Sue, and just pretty much all the people who surround Clint Eastwood's character. You're all very connected to him, so when the final act finally takes place, you're just emotionally already there.
Welcome back to our annual Blockbuster Summer Special.
And I'm Dave. Welcome to the special.
And this is Sleeping on the Job.
What? Why?
We're doing a video. We got company.
But it's so nice out, and I didn't even see you there.
We're recording, but
Oh,
I'm sorry. Stuff down.
all right. I'm sorry. All right. Anyway, I am Rob, and thank you very much for watching our summer blockbuster special. What we are going to do is we're each going to pick one or two movies that we're most looking forward to for.
I always like going to the movies. I still love going to the movies. I try to see as many movies that come out in a year as possible. I miss going to the actual theater as much because I think most of the movies I saw this year were through streaming services because they weren't coming out to theaters around here, so you kind of had to wait till it became a rental.
Yeah.
And you know, I miss going to the movies. Like it was like we were going every week to see whatever new release was out.
And some obscure little titles as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Independent movies too.
Yeah, like, and then like going up to Chicago to see like Paranormal Activity, for instance, that was really unique.
Yeah, before it was given a wide release.
Yeah. That was kind of interesting, and then going to kind of those ones where we get like free tickets for movies to go see them in the city or something.
Yeah.
In a few of those, but going to the movies was fun. Editing them was always fun. Shooting them was always easy because you know we always talk about the movies beforehand. You know, we always been talking about on the car ride back what you think, what you like, what you didn't like, that kind of thing. And then probably the back and forth with people online.
Definitely. And one thing I really loved about doing the videos was because I saw this more as a hobby. I know now a lot of people, YouTube is like their life, it's their career. And for me, I never saw it that way. It was just a little something fun to do on the side, talk to people about movies and, you know, what you know, actually have good conversations. And another problem I think now is oftentimes if you disagree with the movie, people can be a little bit more aggressive that if you didn't like something, like even if it's like supposedly one of the greatest movies ever made, there's something wrong with you, and it's really aggressive kind of in some ways.
It is, yeah. I can't even imagine. But you kept it going. You know, you even reviewing ones, maybe giving out reviews that people didn't necessarily like. But you know, again, it's movie criticism. You're just providing your point of view, and if people find value in that, they'll watch it. If they don't, they can always comment and have a discussion about it instead of just pointing a finger.
Yeah. Is there a review that stuck out with you for some reason, like whether it was just, you know, the response to it, or whether, you know, it was just you just enjoyed the movie so much, or a movie that you actually hated or something?
I know there were a couple movies we got to see kind of early before their big releases. Those ones were always felt like they got the most comments because people were interested in seeing, you know, was this good or bad before it came out. You know, I'm not sure which one generated like the most comments and discussion back and forth. So there's maybe not one particular one. I just remember, you know, it was always fun seeing like the view numbers go up on a particular video, and you knew you were getting it out before everyone else. Because that's the thing, when you review a new release, you got to be like fast on getting the video up. And now, you know, now you can go like Thursday at 5 in the afternoon to see a new release, get your video up, and there's already 1,000 movie reviews of that particular movie up.
Yeah. For me, I really liked when we did different things. Like, I remember we tried doing segments. Like, I remember you had your horror movie segment, and then me and Dave had What to Watch with Your Popcorn, which was a segment where we reviewed movies that you could watch then on DVD. And then, you know, I had the classics where I reviewed classic movies. And those movies, reviews for classic films, I noticed seem to generate more views, sometimes more than the movies that you see in that weekend that just opened up in the theater. You know, I always found that very unusual, but yet interesting.
I think there's a lot more to mine from a movie in particular. You know, if you're giving it your gut reaction opinion, you know, me, sometimes when I go back to a movie, the question is, does it hold up or not? You know, I may have seen a movie and reviews it positively on the channel, and I go back and watch it now, like, maybe it's not as good as I thought it was. I viewed it through a very particular lens. But when you're looking back at a classic film, you know, if you're looking back at like the Marx Brothers or a film like Casablanca, there's so much to mine there, because then you have to look at the artistry, what was innovative, what was the context of the time, what did this mean to people who were paying money to see this in the theater at the time. You know, and now you don't really get that. You don't get that so you can look back.
Yeah, definitely.
Really, you don't get that analysis so you can look back.
Yeah.
So
And I think another thing is watching it in the movie theater on the big screen is a different experience than watching it at home. Like, for example, I thought Paranormal was scary because we were in a packed theater and everyone was feeding off that energy. And later on, when people were watching it at home or something, they'd be like, "Why is this movie scary?" It's because you got to feed off the energy from everybody. And plus with big budget blockbuster special effect movies, those are really good on the big screen. And when you watch it at home, if it's a good movie, it's still good, like story-wise and what have you. But I mean, seeing it up close and on the big screen, it's just a different experience.
yeah, I mean, I'd always rather see something blown up on the big screen with the surround sound. But I know what you're talking about. It is an entirely different viewing experience, especially when it comes to like something like horror. I mean, horror movies, it becomes like you have this rock concert mentality. You can go home and listen to the album, but when you're surrounded by a bunch of other people who are screaming and shouting, you feed off that energy. It gets the adrenaline going, and you want to get into it. You want to invest in it. You want to start yelling back at the screen, or chanting whatever. And that's one thing, especially with horror. Now I see it with comic book movies, especially. I watch some of them at home when they come out, and it's like, I don't care about this particular one, but I'm sure if I saw it in theaters, I'd be really into it.
Yeah, definitely. Again, if you're with, it depends on who you're with, So, all right. Well, Brendan, I'm glad you were able to stop by. I hope you're going to stick around.
Thank you for having with me.
No, it's not.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, it's your channel. It's always good to have you here. We got some more guests lined up now. Next up, we're going to introduce Justin. But first, let's do our first trivia question. So, here's the first trivia question. Let's see if you can remember this one. All right, so you talked about our opening credits. So our original opening credits featured a plot line of us going to see a movie and then reviewing it. Which shot does not appear in the opening? A, me and Brendan walking up to a movie theater. B, a shot of me trying to grab Brendan's popcorn and him smacking me. C, me and Brendan buying tickets at a ticket counter. Or D, me and Brendan getting ready to record a video review. Do you remember? What do you think?
I'm gonna the ticket counter, right? The ticket counter one.
Yep, C, ticket counter.
Yeah, 'cause if I remember correctly, it was closed, so that was a little harder to pick.
Yeah, actually, what we had was my brother hold out his hand and we just gave movie theater tickets. Next up, as I mentioned, one of the things about YouTube is you get to talk to different YouTubers and you get to have them on your channel as guest hosts. My next guest host is Justin from Dust Productions. He does a lot of reviews and he does how-to videos. He also does a lot of paranormal scary ghost videos, kind of like up your alley. So let's welcome Justin from Dust Productions.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, welcome. Thanks for coming back. It's been a while. What have you doing? I see you've been building your a new computer for your channel or something.
Oh yeah. My old PC broke, and I do all my video editing on it. So I mean, editing on my laptop's kind of horrible. So I'm building a gaming PC. I figured a gaming PC would be big enough to handle anything video editing wise.
Yeah. Now, I talked a little bit about what your channel is. So you mainly do paranormal videos and some other skits and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it started out as paranormal videos, ghost hunting videos and stuff, and then I moved. Like I still do that a little bit. I'll do like ghost story time videos and stuff like that too now. But I do skits and everything now. Like ghost hunting got me into it when I started filming all of the ghost hunts. Like I really got into filming and editing and everything. I'm like, man, this is really cool. I want to do like more stuff. I don't like being limited to just one thing.
You had Rob on any of your shows?
Oh yeah. Well, not the ghost hunting stuff, but like all the skits and
Couple reviews,
challenge videos and reaction videos and stuff.
Yeah, Dan, who's going to be on in a little bit, has been in a few of them too.
like, what was, we didn't do the bucket challenge, we did something else with
The tin can
challenge,
challenge.
but then we did the other one outside with mixing the different
Well, that
beverages
was-
and food and
Well,
stuff.
that was the tin can challenge. Yeah, we did the Bean Boozled challenge, which was like nasty.
Yeah.
I am the god of thunder.
First of all, I think it's the Lord of Thunder. Second of all, Thor has a hammer. And third of all, I think he lost it.
Yes, I did lose it. What movie are we reviewing today?
Well, today we're going to be reviewing, to get in the Bob Hope comedy, The Lemon Drop Kid. We decided to get into the Christmas spirit, so we're going to review this movie on this channel. And what are we reviewing on yours?
Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 3.
Yeah, we're skipping the second one, heading straight over to the other one. So we just got done doing the Home Alone review. It's going to be on his channel. And now we're going to go into the past just a little bit to review Bob Hope's Christmas comedy, The Lemon Drop Kid. Are you ready, Justin?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know, a lot of comedy, a lot of lines from back then that are in this movie could still work today in modern movies. You know, like some movies, the whole movie itself can just stand the test of time, and a lot of scripts and a lot of quotes can do the same. And I think there's a lot of one-liners in this movie.
And
that
Bob
you
Hope
could-
does them well.
It's always good to work with somebody else and like just see how like they do things compared to how you do things, and sort of learn things from each other. And it's also good to gain a bigger audience. That's a really big thing on YouTube. They really push for collaborations. That's why you see all these really big YouTubers collaborating, so that they'll pretty much, it's like trading subscribers almost, you know.
Yeah, and I know doing a collaboration isn't anything new. Remember many years ago we used to have Jack Three Sucker as a collaborator. Remember his YouTube
Oh
channel?
yeah.
Yeah, you know, like we used to do it with a few people, and I mean, for me, I really didn't do it until, you know, you and I started collaborating, because I think that's actually kind of interesting, because you bring in new people that may not have heard of your channel, and it's always a good thing. For you, now, our channel's been around since '09. How long has your channel been around, Justin? Like, longer than that, more, less than that?
I started my YouTube channel in like '07, but I didn't start uploading. I had no intentions of doing anything until like, what was it, 2000, 2009, 2010. Then I started doing like ghost hunting stuff. And then 2011, I was like, well, man, I want to do other stuff. So then I started vlogging and doing other stuff too. So.
Yeah, well, what do you think has changed about YouTube all these years? I know a couple of years ago there was a lot of changes that went on with that.
Yeah, the adpocalypse, pretty much. Anybody that was making money on YouTube, it's like 10 times harder now. The YouTube algorithm has changed a lot, pretty much. Like how searchable your videos are. You gotta be careful how you tag your videos, and your thumbnails, and everything has to be on point if you're really trying to get views. So.
Yeah, because I know that many years ago you could send other videos, video responses, like that's how we kind of grew our following.
Yeah, I
like
remember those.
Yeah, like for example.
That made it very easy to get your stuff out there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 'cause
I collaborated with another YouTuber. We started a channel, and it was called Project Subs, and we would find videos. Well, people would submit videos to us through video responses, and we would take the videos and pretty much battle them against each other. Like, we would show both the videos, and then the viewers would vote on which video was better, and it was pretty interesting. And then when they got rid of video responses, it was like pretty much that was it. The channel was dead.
yeah, one thing I loved about video responses, like if you, let's say Brendan and I reviewed, I don't know, the Hangover, and we found some other movie reviewers that, you know, reviewed The Hangover, you could upload your thing to underneath their screen and people could watch other responses, and I think people could get a different perspective on the movie. You know, maybe you'd meet a couple people that didn't like it, and some people that thought it was okay, and some other people that, you know, gave it a, you know, good recommendation.
It was a smaller activity base too. I feel like, you know, since now YouTube's integrated with Google, everyone who has a Google account technically has a YouTube account. You know, so I felt like back when we were doing like video responses like that, it was a smaller pool of people who were seeing this, who were actively engaged in it. And now I feel like there's are not actively engaged in it, but will post their vocal responses to your content. And it's interesting, yeah, they should have never gotten rid of video responses. I like that. That was a good way to self-promote.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's there, you know, a lot of people they get caught up in views and subscribers and like and with collaborations, a lot of like bigger YouTubers they won't collaborate with people that don't have as many subscribers, and I don't like that. I think that's pretty dumb. You know, like there are YouTubers that aren't that big that are very talented and do cool stuff and are missing out on opportunities to make some great content. You know.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. You know, I've done your channel, and I really, enjoy doing like the pranks and sketches, and trying out these new candies, and you don't know what they're going to taste like. What about going to the movies? What is it that you like about doing? Going to see a movie and then sharing your thoughts on it.
Well, I've excuse me. I've seen like other channels do it, and at one point I thought about doing that on my channel. I don't think I ever told you that.
No.
That was like before I met you, and like it just, I don't know. Like you ever see like on TV people reviewing movies and stuff, and it just kind of looked fun, and sometimes you have this cool banter between people, and you can gain like a different insight on a movie. Like somebody else's thoughts. Like everybody wants to talk about a movie after they see it,
Yeah.
right? So why not do it on camera?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite memory about appearing on R&B reviews? Like, is there a particular review that you really got into, or you didn't, it was a movie you didn't like, or what have you, that you got to share?
The first movie we did, which was let's see, we did Home Alone. We did Home Alone on my channel, which was the very first movie review. I think the only movie review I did on my channel. And then we did Lemon Drop Kid on yours, and I thought that was kind of cool. We did some little funny sketch.
And we had a nice discussion about the Ghostbusters remake.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's always, good to, go on other channels and try, their style, and then you come on and, try the other person's style. Like in this case, doing, trying out candy, trying out pranks, or, just sitting down and talking through a movie. All right, well, before we move on to the bringing in some more guests in there, it's time to do another trivia question. So, let's see here.
Oh boy.
All right, so,
I have a horrible memory.
okay, well, let's see. I don't think this is going to be a difficult one. So, we just mentioned the Ghostbusters remake. So, which person gave it a somewhat decent review? Was it me, or was it Justin?
Marketed it wrong. It should have been a movie, not a TV show, because obviously we know what happened to the TV show.
And I think they should have used the Inhumans from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's my opinion.
Oh, but I disagree with that.
And the biggest reason why I enjoy coming on your show is I get to see everyone's different perspectives. There's so many perspectives.
Good. How's the
on
weather in
movie.
Hawaii?
Oh, it's great. It's in the 80s. No snow. Hot every day.
Yeah, you just have to rub it in.
Yeah, rub it in, Dave. Rub it in.
It's cold here.